What's going on, everybody? You see who this is? This is Travis checking in with Buckles Locker. Shout out to everybody tuning in. I know y'all are probably surprised seeing me tonight. Y'all didn't expect to see me hosting this, but it's me running the things tonight on the chat. So I'm gonna let some people join the chat before I get things going because we all have a lot to talk about, y'all. We definitely do. I'm gonna keep the same format as what Isaiah does, where I review the game, put the link in the chat, let people come in and chime in, and let everybody vent. You know what I'm saying? Victory Tuesday, y'all. What's up, everybody? What's up, True Bucks fan? 813 Sports, Aiden. Yeah, Jonathan Bruce, this me. Buccaneers, you wish. What's going on? What's going on? Yep, it's me running things today, running things tonight on this locker room talk. Got 24 people up in here. Everybody, if anybody's in the chat now, raise your hand if your anxiety level was on high last night. Raise your hand if your anxiety levels were on high last night, because we all know we should have not had that performance last night. As a Bucks fan, as just a viewer. Thank you, Arshia. Man. Oh my gosh. I definitely have a lot to talk about. I had to take a Xanax last night, y'all. I just couldn't do it. I had to take a Xanax last night. It was bad. It was real bad. But you know what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get it off our chest. We got the victory. Definitely a lot of topics to touch on. So maybe a little at the 5 minutes after. 5 minutes after, let people roll on in here, get the comments in. Man, I'm with you. Man. Bucks Primetime. I'm going to touch up on that tonight. So just give everybody some time, get the chats rolling in. It's a lot to talk about, y'all. We definitely have a lot to touch up on. And we got a big game coming up. But before that, let's vet every single thing about this Monday night debacle. But at the end of the day, we got the W. Let y'all chime in. Give y'all a couple more minutes. Did anybody go vote today? Please exercise your right to vote. We're not going to talk too much about politics, trust me. Just want to stick with the topic. Everybody go vote, whether it was early, whether it was today. I hope every single last one of y'all took the time to vote today. This is probably the biggest election I've seen in my entire life. And I've never seen an election get pushed so hard. So please, 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 everybody, vote. All right, one more minute before we get things going. I see you. All right, Arshia, good. All right, y'all. For all y'all that are rolling in, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Travis. I have been a part of Buckles Locker since day one. I took a little bit of hiatus. I had some. I was a father for the first time a couple of years ago. My son is now 2. I was going through a lot of moving, and I'm really secure now. I was in a job that was very, very busy, and I'm here. All right, Mopar. Yeah, man. So we got the dub last night, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Man, we're going to touch up on Devin, bro. Trust me, he's part of the topics tonight. He's getting the smoke tonight. He is getting the smoke. So check this out, y'all. Primetime television, Buccaneers in New York. We have 14 points on the spread against the 1-6 Giants at the time. Everybody's talking about we're going to kill this game. We're gonna just have the lead. Easy pick for us. But last night was not the team we expected to see. You go from beating a winning team like the Packers, an explosive team like the Raiders, and you struggle against the Giants on primetime television. Thank you, Rashia. This game was ugly on many levels. This game was not taken to the point we needed it to be. This was not advertising what we can do in this league. For us to be a topic of the best team in the NFC was really skeptical last night. It was really skeptical. We fell behind. We couldn't stop a nosebleed, it felt like. Rojo on that fumble in the first quarter. We couldn't get any offense moving. Tom Brady was struggling on his passes. It's crazy. We missed one player in Godwin, and it's like we can't have any offense. We can't move upfield. We have these other receivers come in, and it's just like the rhythm's off. That really, really, really bothered me. We can't do this. We can't do this. We can't have the rhythm off like that because we're going to play against better teams that are going to kill us. I've said this last week on the locker room talk. I really, really, really found our secondary really suspect. And yes, they showed it. There were many times that Daniel Jones overthrew his receivers. And we're going to play against people like Drew Brees, Mahomes, even Jared Goff, who's going to hit receivers like that, and we're going to get torched. If we're letting Daniel Jones get by like that, but unfortunately overthrowing, having 2 picks, we're not going to do anything against teams that are legitimately going to throw the ball over our heads like that. We were living and dying by the blitz on defense, but they found a way to counter that with quick passes. Jamel Dean played bad. He got beat. Our number 1 rushing defense didn't look number 1 last night. They ran on us easily. 5 yards of run, 6 yards of run. Big chunk plays. Mind you, they had 2 or 3 offensive linemen that were reserves. They were on their 3rd and 4th string running back. Come on. If you told me that was the number 1 defense as a viewer, I'd have been like, you're lying to me. You're lying. Thankfully, in the second half, we picked it up. We got that crucial interception on Carlton Davis's interception. Got a field goal out of it. We got to capitalize more, but we got something out of it. Let's talk about our offensive coordinator. He's on my hit list tonight. Byron Leftwich is too predictable. Everybody knows we're going to run it on first down, and it's going to be up the middle. And there was one time it was a play action pass, but much later in the game. If our offense looks like this without one player, then we are in trouble putting our chips in on AB, given he still has court in December. I definitely agree with you on that because this is what happened with him in New England. He came in for one game, got hit with something because it was still under investigation. His suspension is over. He's in practice, but that does not mean he's going to last us all season. So we got to ride this AB train as much as we can, keep a good head on straight. But Byron Leftwich, he needs to capitalize on the other team's weakness. Now, let's be real. Tom Brady wasn't throwing the best balls. Our receivers weren't getting the best separation. But running on first down up the middle, it's everybody knows we're doing it. Maybe sometime on the outside. Maybe a reverse or something not too predictable. And I do not like these check down passes. We have the receivers to spread the ball and throw it upfield. And again, Brady could be better with it. He wasn't on last night. I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know if it was prime time. But y'all, we are 1-2 on primetime television. We lost to the Saints, lost to the Bears, and we just got by the Giants. We got the Saints on primetime Sunday at home. Now, rest assured, at home we're undefeated, which is a good thing. We're undefeated at home, but it's still prime time. So now we're going to see what the situation really is. But if you can't win on prime time in the regular season, how are you going to win in the playoffs when every game is prime time? How are you going to perform in the Super Bowl where every camera is on, the entire country is watching you, and the chips are at stake? Something has to be done. I definitely think Arians, who's number 2 on my hit list tonight, got conservative. Now, there are some people who feel indifferent about this, and that's cool. Everybody has their opinion. It was 3rd and 1. Well, before I get to that, the referee sucked last night. I cannot believe Bruce Arians didn't challenge the spot of that ball that should have been a first down. Because that led to us being in 3rd and 1. Guess what we did? Running up the middle, got stopped. 4th and 1. You have the best QB sneak quarterback in the league. You go for the field goal, put it on the defense, puts us up by 8. Now, granted, we did get them to 4th down, but we did not stop them on 4th down. That scares me, y'all. We can't get defense off the field. Last night's defense reminded me of Mike Smith. And if y'all been tuning into the channel, y'all know I despise Mike Smith. I was fuming last night. I didn't take a Xanax to go to sleep last night. It was just too much. It was bad. You know what I mean? Thankfully, we have a savior on special teams with these field goals. Ryan Suckup has been performing. He's only missed 1 field goal in 2 games. Every other game, he's been 100%. He's been the saving grace, something that has caused us to lose games if you've really been watching. We lost 3 games due to kicking. This win was really down to a flag. And I've been watching SportsCenter. I've been watching ESPN. I've been watching Pat McAfee, and everybody has said this joke. If Tom Brady threw that ball on that 2-point conversion, it would have been a pass interference. But since it was Daniel Jones, they said, nah. So imagine that happened. We would win into overtime. And if they got possession, they already had it. The game was already theirs. They had the momentum. It was bad. Now let's just give credit when it's due. The Giants' defense is not what their record shows. Their defense is actually pretty damn good, but their offense sucks. But that sucky offense drove on our defense. Our defense is number 1 at the run, number 5, number 4, top 10 at the pass. It didn't look like that last night. So in order for us to be that playoff team and the Super Bowl or bust, we need to show it. Sunday is going to be a different team with AB in there, especially on offense, but we need to do something on difference because this blitzing already has a weakness. We blitz too many damn times, and if we're blitzing on somebody who can't throw like Daniel Jones, granted, it could have impacted some of those throws. It's not going to work on Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, who eludes the pocket and makes magic happen with his eyes closed. 76, you got whooped up too. If it wasn't for Gronk being so aware, that would have not been a touchdown after that tip passed. So we got the W, ugly W, but it's a W. People are still on our side about the Bucs being the team in the NFC, but Sunday's the matchup. But that'll be another video. So here's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to open up the locker room. Everybody come on in here, speak your piece, speak your frustrations. If you got questions, let it be known. But I'm going to let y'all in here. We're going to talk it up, get some conversations going. Give y'all this. Put the link in here. And I'm not going to keep y'all up too late tonight because I know it's Tuesday. We got a long week. It's November. We're almost out of 2020. But let's chop it up, man. Let's chop it up in this locker room talk. Thank you for the donation, Sandoval. We definitely need that defense that we saw against Green Bay. All right, I see we got somebody in here named Lee. So I'm going to add Lee to the chat. Lee, boss man, what's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going
Victor.
on, man? Appreciate
Hey,
you
man.
letting me in.
Hey, man, you're the first one up, so I'll let you right on in, boss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Man, it was disappointing, man. I think I think they came out flat. It was definitely a trap game, and I'm nervous. I'm a Buck fan, so I'm nervous on primetime games. And so they came out flat, man. And I think everyone, especially when I saw everyone, thought we was gonna smash them like 30-something by 20-something points or whatnot. So it scared me that they, came out flat like they did. And you just got through talking about that 3rd and 1, which should have been a first down.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't, Bruce Arians didn't challenge that. That kind of upset me because I was thinking, if you didn't challenge it, at least go for it. Because I think Brady knew, man, we can't let them just end it. If we had got that first down, it'd have been game over. And we could have clocked in them in game. But, overall, we got the W. I was kind of disappointed in defense, man. We missed Big V on that game, but it's a dub. That's that's the type of dub you get when you on the road to a Super Bowl. Sometimes you have an ugly win, and that's one of the ugly wins. So kudos that we got the dub. So hopefully we show up for the Saints and beat them.
Yep. Defense did not look like the defense we've been seeing the last couple of weeks against better teams. And I don't know if it was just a mindset of how they came into this game, but it looked like they came into this game thinking, oh, this is just the Giants. They're 1-6. We can stop them. But the Giants have been giving us trouble for the last 5 years. We all remember last year with the missed kick. We remember the year before that with Eli. The Giants have been a problem. But the thing that really got me irritated was they had backup offensive linemen that stopped our pass rush, and they also were on the 3rd string and 4th string running back. I didn't even know Alfred Morris was still in the league, and he came in still doing a little bit of damage. But defense woke up eventually later on, and those 2 picks were crucial. But I agree with you. The defense was terrible, man, and we can't be doing this on prime time, and we have to get better. I know we're at the halfway mark. We're officially 8 games in, and this next game is crucial, as we all know, my man.
Yeah, and I think when we say the defense was terrible, they were able to run a little bit more effectively than any other team has. So
Absolutely.
we get those 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs is where our defense lived, and they were getting 2nd and 6s and 2nd and 5s, and so they could go to the short passing game. So it seems like when people throw to the flats, it kills us. And then sometimes throwing out to the running back, that just kills the defense. It's like and sometimes they blitz when, they blitzing for no reason sometimes. Like on that 4th and 16, he should have blitzed in. No, why are you sitting back and give him time before a man rush? Go get him, make a quick decision. There's no way you can throw the ball downfield for 16 yards and he's under pressure. And he'll give you one. He gave us 2 of them. If he didn't do that, it'd have been a different game. But we got the dub. It's ugly win. We can't play like that against New Orleans. Hopefully we play up to our competition, not play down to it,
I agree. And if you remember both those 4th downs, even though Daniel Jones got those passes off, we missed tackles on both those 4th downs. And if we had just gotten those tackles, that was our game, but we just let it slip on by. So we got to be able to capitalize and tackle, because there's going to be games that get that late and they can't get tired and just deflate like that, because it gets harder. It gets harder as the season goes, and playoffs is a whole nother spectrum. And nobody on this team other than Brady and Gronk and a couple of guys know what that's like. So that definitely showed, man. But I'm gonna get some other people in the chat, Lee.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Chiming in. No problem, bro. Thanks for chiming in, man. I hope you have a good night. All right, stay safe out there.
All right, man.
All right. Next we got Jason. Jason, what's up, my man?
Say, man, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm all right. Victory Tuesday, but it was an ugly victory. But talk to me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Big Bucks fan. The great teams pull out a W, man. I know we gave up yards and to the Giants, but yeah, man, my fault. I'm nervous, bro.
All right, it looks like we lost Jason, but If you're still in the chat, yeah, that game definitely showed us with our guard down. For anybody else that's still listening in, that we put our guard down, and we didn't take the game seriously. It looked like, but it was a trap game, as somebody did say earlier in the chat. That and this is possible because actually there were two upsets in the week. Two upsets. We had the Bengals beat the Titans, and we had the Vikings beat the Packers. Now that was a division rivalry game, which anything can happen, but those are two teams that nobody expected to win in those matchups. So last night looked like we're going to be that third team. So I'm glad that we ended up sticking it out through the end and getting the W. It just seems funny to me. We have these athletes like Mickens and then we have guys like Tyler Johnson, and they're not getting utilized as much, but the protection's not there. We got another person in the chat now, Jonathan Brutus. I'm gonna add him to the chat. Jonathan Brutus, what's up, my man? What's going on,
man?
Welcome to the chat. Let's talk in the locker room, my man. What's going on?
Yo.
Victory Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I just feel like they just came out there like, two-stepping. Like it was like a weight. I feel like it was like sleep throughout the whole game. But I feel like the defense, especially, the cornerback. I feel like the DB coaches, they just need to tighten up on their corners. Like I feel like they just playing too scared. They're playing like 5 yards, 8 yards back. Like they're not getting their hands on wide receivers like that. Offense wise, Leftwich needed to like switch it up a little bit more, moving them around. He's just so predictable with the calls, And then what else? It was just it's like the whole everything was like a freaking chain reaction. The special team, offense, and defense, they was not playing good, Yeah, that's about it, really. When I was not nervous, but I knew it was gonna come back. But that's a good thing that we signed Suck Up, because we're gonna have games like this where we're gonna have to kick field goals. So that was a major key that we signed him, because last year we would have been missing all of those. And I feel like this dub, it didn't satisfy the loss that we had with the Giants last year. You know what I'm saying? Because this was an ugly win, but a win's a win, so I can't complain.
Yep. And just to agree with you, like I said, Byron Leftwich, he needs to do something else. I know he has plenty of plays in that playbook of his to spread the ball out, call some good plays. I hope he opens it up Sunday coming to Saints, because we all know the history we have with them. We either split the series or they sweep us. And with what's coming up, this is the most pivotal game we have. Defensively, front seven just didn't look like the front seven we're used to. And that's something that is usually our security blanket on defense. And I always say the secondary has been suspicious to me. And yesterday showed that. So fortunately, Daniel Jones didn't capitalize on some of those big throws.
Yeah.
So, but we can't do that with Drew Brees, as we all know. And I'm going to address this question by Mopar. Why are we steady throwing the ball downfield to Scotty Mill like he's some down the field deep threat, like we're featuring him too much? Well, Mopar, I definitely agree with that, because he is speedy, but Tom Brady didn't get the best throw on him. He likes his little receivers, but we should be getting those deep balls to our bigger guys like Mike Evans and our tight ends. We're definitely missing OJ Howard, but I feel like when Godwin is not in the offense, our offense isn't the same.
Totally different.
So it's a totally different offense. And somebody did say that when he's in, he stretches the field out. But I feel like if you have another receiver in there that could be a speedy and that dynamic, then it should be opened up just as much. So hopefully with AB in on Sunday, that brings it back to where the offense is spread out. But you're right, man. We got the W. It was ugly, but a win's a win, my man. It's the NFL. This ain't figure skating.
Yeah, exactly.
But thanks for chiming in, John. I hope you have a great night, my man, and you stay safe. All right.
All right. You too, man.
All right. I'm gonna try to get Jason back in here because he lost connection. And Jason, you there, dude? Jason. Looks like Jason's having connection issues right now. All right, there he is. What up, man?
Hello. What's up, man? How you doing? My bad. I lost connection there earlier, man.
You good? Talk to me, my man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was saying, man. The defense they've been playing great, man. I'm very proud of everyone on our team. The coaches. I mean, it was like a cold game, I think, bro. Out here next Sunday night in Tampa, I'm freaking hyped, man. I can't go to the game, sadly, but I think the coaches are gonna come prepared, and Brady knows what's at stake, and the team. I mean, the offense was. I think it was, good. I mean, we had some miscues. Ronald Jones, he's I think he's our first string, man. But I like what Leonard Fournette did there. Came in and made a couple nice plays, and we're not just using Mike Evans, but he's my number one wide receiver in the leagues. But he's he ain't worried about getting the ball much. He's respectful, and I'm excited for AB, man. I think I'm gonna just get his jersey, honestly.
You don't think it's too soon to get that New Jersey, man? He may just play one game and that be it.
Yeah, no, I got Carlton on right now, man. I'm a big fan of Carlton and that young secondary. I believe they're just gonna keep going good and hope for the best, man. I'm real excited, man. I mean, I'm only 21 and I didn't get to experience that Super Bowl victory, so
Oh man, those days were great in the '90s with the defense. They feared coming against us, and um, I do agree with what you're saying about Mike. Mike knows that he's drawing a lot of the attention, being the number one receiver, but that's why you got to have other options at receiver to step up when he's being covered up. I do feel like he's not getting a lot of throws his way, and there's some kind of disconnection between him and Tom. If you're watching the games, I feel like sometimes the ball um, goes another way than Mike is. So there's some kind of connection that they're not having. I don't know what it is or what's causing it, but thankfully last night he made an appearance. He got some catches, got a touchdown, so his name was recognized and advertised again. Um, and then defensively, man, I can't say this enough. We need something better from our
yeah,
secondary. But
yeah, man.
I will shout out Winfield. Winfield has been stepping up. He's been the surprise pick for me because I didn't think we were going to get a safety at number 2. So he's been definitely representing and putting on for that. And somebody did say that somebody did shout out the 2 offensive rookies and the rookies in the game. But yep, both rookies are looking great. Definitely Wirfs better than number 76. I see a bright future for Wirfs, not so bright for 76, man. But Jason, thanks for
Hey,
chiming in. Thanks for
yes,
coming into
sir,
the
man.
chat and speaking out, my man, and just
Respect the
hanging on the
chat,
chat.
man. Yes,
Thanks, man.
sir. Been a subscriber for a while, man. You and Buckles Locker, I like when y'all do the live streams, everything, boss. Respect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it, man.
Sir. Go Bucks, yes, sir.
Go Bucks. All right, Joe. Thanks for chiming in. Jason, everybody else chiming in. So the chat's still available, y'all. Let me put the link in here again so we can all chop it up in this locker room talk, man. It's good to let the frustrations go. I know all of us were stressing last night. Let me touch about some of the comments in here. I do like Tyler Johnson. I do feel like he should get more looks or get more routes because every time he's in there, I feel like he does make a play. Every time he gets the ball, he's definitely a speedy guy that I feel like needs to get more reps. I did tweet out something about Mickens. I feel like Mickens, he eases up on the route sometimes, and then I feel like he just sits and watches the play. There was a play where we had a dump off pass to one of the running backs, and he went to block, and then he was on his knees watching the play, and the guy that he blocked ended up making the play. And I tweeted, take him out the game. If you're going to sit there and watch, don't be in the game watching, be on the sideline watching. I think he gets caught up in the moment sometimes. Evans won't be happy until he's holding that Lombardi. Hey, if you've been playing your entire career in Tampa Bay, you've been taking pay cuts, you've been trying to bring that winning team in here, Mike Evans could have easily went somewhere else. He could have easily went back to his home state of Texas. He could have went to the Patriots with Tom Brady. He could have went to Kansas City. Can you imagine if he was at Kansas City? He could have went somewhere else that had a more winning team. So much respect to Evans. He just wants to win. He ain't worried about the money. He wants to commit to us, which is what I'm happy about. Tom went through Mike on that bomb. There's been a lot of, like I said, I think there's a big disconnection between him and Tom. I feel like of all the passes to him, there's something not happening. And there's just something not connecting there like it is with everyone else. It's not looking good. I feel like he should get more looks, but he has been covered by the number ones. He has been double teamed, and that's why the passes have been given to other players. And yes, 6 seasons, 0 playoffs for Mike. I mentioned this earlier in this video. There's not a lot of playoff experience in this team. We're still somewhat young. The only playoff experience we have is with Tom and Gronk and LaShawn McCoy, if you want to consider him. But McCoy didn't even get on the field last night, I don't think. And honestly, I'm surprised we haven't cut him yet because I feel like he hasn't proven to be a factor on our offense. And we can save some money by cutting him or releasing him. I know today was a trade deadline, and fortunately, we didn't trade Mike. That was rumored around the NFL. Thankfully, we kept him, and I was hoping that we could have cut bait with him to save some money. Let's see what people are talking about in the chat today. Let me see. Brady's low throws are something our running backs need to get used to. He wants you to be the one to catch the ball. Rojo drops his knees, then did it. So Rojo has not been the most reliable catcher. And what's crazy about that is he caught the ball just to fumble it later on after getting hit. So that is his biggest weakness. If he was a more reliable catcher, he could be a top 5 back in this league, because I do believe he's a good runner. He has gotten better. He has gotten bigger, so he's been tougher to take down, but he needs to work on his hands. He needs to work on his catching. He can be a much better running back if he does. And when he fumbled the ball, I knew he wasn't going to get back in the game for the first half. Well, I thought he was going to get back in the whole game, but he came back in the second half, and I like the tandem with him and Fournette. But Fournette is more of a hard-hitting back. I want to see more of Vaughn, honestly, because we obviously drafted him for a reason. I want to see how Vaughn can carry the load. I want to see what we have with him. But, who knows what's going on with the rotations and who goes in and who doesn't. But I believe LaShawn should have been cut today. Frankly, I don't see him being a factor in our offense right now. And we could save money with him, especially if we're going to bring in people like AB. So if we're going to bring in somebody else, we should save any kind of money we can. Marpet took a pay cut to bring in AB for who knows how long. So hopefully that was worth it, of all people, to take a pay cut on this team. I want to talk about this defense. I want to talk about this front seven lately. Something I've noticed is lately we have been sticking to the blitz, which is what Todd Bowles does. And it has been positive the way we closed out last season and started this season. But now it's predictable. Now the blitz is predictable. They see where it's coming. And honestly, the best blitzes come from when our linebackers blitz. And I mean our inside linebackers, because Shaq Barrett hasn't been getting there. He's gotten offsides a little bit. JPP has gotten there. He's playing his part. But I feel like when Devin White and Levante get back there, something big happens, because they're faster, they can get around the linemen quicker, and they cause a big disruption with the backfield. I do want to talk about Devin White, because somebody mentioned this way earlier, and I think it was you, Mopar. His coverage needs some work. He's definitely a downhill tackler, even though he missed that key 4th down tackle that could have sealed the game right after Levante dropped that key interception on that 3rd down. Devin White needs to work on his coverage, because he's fast, he can get to the play, but he was literally breaking his neck trying to find the ball. By the time he looked up, the ball was past him already. So he definitely needs to step up his coverage and get more awareness. He does that, he can be one of the best middle linebackers in the league, and he could definitely be a recognizable name when it comes to defenses. It is his 2nd year, so he is stepping up. He's still learning. He's still evolving. He's still trying to become a better player, and thankfully he has the best teacher with him in Levante, even though he's not a middle linebacker, but he's a great linebacker. And as we all know, one of the best, if not the best linebackers in the league. But without the tape, people don't see it. But Primetime is just, this defense does not step up, and this team is entirely different when it comes to the Primetime games. Okay, I know what you're saying, Fausto, and I'll show the comments when people want to argue. That's cool. he's getting there. He's not getting the sacks though. He's causing disruptions. I did say that. I'm saying he doesn't have sacks. All right, we're getting the pressures. We're bringing the blitz. We're causing the pressures. We're probably the defense causing the most pressures right now in the league, but we're not hitting home. And we can't do this with every team. We're not going to get fortunate with a bunch of Daniel Jones overthrowing, underthrowing, passes leading interceptions. That's what you want to get, but it's not going to work with everybody. I do believe we need to change it up this next game with more coverage, because you're going to throw those little dump offs to Kamara, and Kamara has been tearing teams up. Kamara tore us up the first game, but the first game didn't really count because we had no preseason, so we didn't know what we looked like. So this is like the best game we can have after what's happened, to go to 7-2. So I'm really looking forward to this game Sunday. I'm hoping that they come into this primetime game with their heads on. It's at home. You're in your warm weather. You're undefeated at home. And if you want to play at home to defend your home turf for the Super Bowl, this is the best opportunity to do it right now. Because this could be hell. This could be a playoff preview. Because we already know that we're at least making the wild card if we don't win the division. So we can definitely make something happen. I don't know why y'all quiet with me today, man. Y'all wanna type your opinions, but come on and chop it up with me, man. Chop it up in this locker room, y'all. You're gonna be seeing me a lot more, all right? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna be here. Let's see. We could be 6-1, bro. Steelers just gave up 150 yards total on the Ravens. Let's get the W Bucks for life. Now, the Ravens have something that's different with their offense, and that's a mobile quarterback. But their mobile quarterback can't throw. And you know what? It's just something that gives their offense that's what their offense was. They're trying to cover a mobile quarterback. We don't have a mobile quarterback, but our offense is so vanilla. It's so vanilla because we know we're going to run first. We're going to do these simple runs. We're not doing the outside runs. We're not doing any tosses, barely, and we're doing these small passing plays. We obviously know Brady can throw the deep ball, but we're not taking advantage of that. Let's see. Why can't we cover flats, and why does Dean think he can jump every route, getting burned up the field, biting on double moves? You know, a lot of us were really cheering for Jamel Dean to get that number 2 cornerback spot. Now that we saw him last night, how do we all feel about that? I believe we can't cover on flats because we already have some people we have some people that are on man, some people that are 5-10 yards off the ball, too much cushion, so there's nobody there to watch these flats. And that fake pass play really got me upset, even though it could have been worse. But we're so aggressive on getting to the quarterback. I feel like we're not worried about what's happening around us. Dean is a fast guy. I feel like he's trying to make plays, which is great. You want those guys that take advantage of making plays, but I definitely feel like he got caught up in the moment, and he definitely was just not focused on the receiver. He was focused on that pick, and he was trying to watch the quarterback too much. But I hope that game has humbled him. It looks like he's not ready to be the number 2 cornerback right now. We all got to witness that. Hopefully he gets better, because I believe he can be a great number 2 cornerback with his speed and ability. Let's see. Dean is suspect. So let's see, Le'Veon Carson. I think we're going to blow the Saints out for some reason. I feel like we're going to get to Drew, and the offense is going to eat their secondary up. You know, they're going to get their guys back for us. And you want to beat the team with their full squad. Because you know what? It's the NFL. People are going to get hurt. It's one thing to play against a team. I mean, you can't make an excuse that we didn't have this person, we had this person. It's the NFL. Next man up. If they have Michael Thomas back, I want them to, because even their first game, he didn't look that good. I think it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be a blowout, my dude. I think it's going to be a shootout. Their defense is good at stopping the run, so is ours. It's going to come down to passing. And we already know how Mike Evans has trouble with Lattimore. For some reason, we let Jared cook us too much in the backfield, but we're a different team. We're a much different team from the first game. So I believe we'll get the W, but it's not going to be that big of a W. If it is, I mean, I'll be shooting and raising hell and all happiness if we get this big W on Sunday. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout, my man. People thought we were going to blow out the Giants, and look what happened. It wasn't what we expected. So we'll see, man. We shall see. Next up in receiving core. I still think we're trying to figure out who our number 2s and 3s are. I mean, right now we know Mike is number 1. With Godwin, now we're trying to see who can be that next number 2. I think we're trying to get in Scotty Miller. I mean, Scotty Miller is obviously one of Brady's favorite targets because, he likes his little receivers. I believe Tyler Johnson should get more looks. I feel like he should be a number 3 because I'm not a fan of Mickens, to be honest with you, as a receiver at least. I feel like Tyler Johnson should get more receiving time. And, I mean, what sucks is when AB gets in and when Godwin gets back, who knows who that 4th guy is going to be. It'd probably be Scotty Miller, in my opinion. So I feel like we're just experimenting right now, halfway through the season, 6-2, trying to get an idea of what we need to do when it comes to the final home stretch of the season. Oops. That is true, but it's 2020, my man. Who knows? Now I'm just playing. It's a divisional rivalry game. You just never know. I mean, Jameis Winston didn't either. So we can't just go off history and say, well, he never lost back-to-back. Tom Brady was undefeated in Chicago. And what happened on Primetime in Chicago? So hopefully he keeps the tradition and doesn't lose twice. Yeah, y'all really chiming in, man. It's going to be a close game with the Saints, 27-24. I can see that you wish. It's going to be a close game for sure. Now, that score, I don't know. And let me highlight this comment really quick. Carlos Smith, we definitely got humbled last night. Like I said, I think last night we're riding high on these big wins on these winning teams. I mean, don't get me wrong. Beating the Packers and Raiders are huge. As long as they keep winning, our win looks very big. But the Giants, and let's be clear, they've lost close games. They've lost games by a point or two. They were stuck with the Rams too. And I know the Rams just lost to the Dolphins, but the Rams actually have a top defense. They're pretty legit on defense too. So we definitely got humbled last night. So I think that's the fire in the ass we needed coming into the Sunday game. So I agree with you, my man. You think Rojo's going to eat more than AB in there? Well, they're definitely going to run the ball. It's definitely going to be a battle to the trenches because of their run defense, our run defense, passing game. Drew Brees doesn't have the deep ball anymore. He can't throw the deep ball. He just can't. He has maybe a couple deep throws in it, but he's going to throw the short routes, the slants, and then the flats to Kamara. So we need to have a spy on Kamara because Kamara is going to be the guy. Kamara has been the guy for their offense. Running wise, passing wise, he has to be taken out of the game. Not physically. I'm not talking Greg Williams shit. I'm talking we need to make sure he is not a factor. We need to shut him down in the passing game because I feel like we'll shut him down in the running game. But when it comes to him on the outside and the flats, that's where we need to put down the wall to stop him. Because if we do that, then we've taken away half their offense. And then that's when we can have the separation and the defenders spread out to get those turnovers, force some turnovers, bat some balls down. And on offense, we need to keep the ball in our hands. We need to keep the ball out of Drew Brees, put points up every time. It's very possible. But again, division rivalry. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get physical. It's going to be unpredictable. Should AB or Scotty start returning punts and kickoffs? Well, we don't have Scotty back there returning punts for a reason. I don't see why we shouldn't have AB do it, but at the same time, I do see why we won't because he is a veteran. I believe he has. He does know the offense. He has been working with Brady. I don't think you want to put him on returns for kickoffs at all. Maybe they will just to see how he handles it. But he's a ticking time bomb. Who knows what we're going to get? I feel like we should put him at receiver to get those routes in and do what he does because we need receivers that can get separation because last night it was not there. So if we can get some receivers to get separation, open up the field more, I'd rather see AB catching routes. And let me just address this. I know I was not the biggest fan. I was not the biggest fan of us signing Antonio Brown because of personality. I'm a personality guy. I don't, it's great that you're a talented guy, but when your personality is so unpredictable that I can't trust you, I don't want you on my team. And I mean that personally too. So if I'm running a business and I got 6 guys who does their job well and get the job done, but you got one guy who will perform but has an attitude that's spoiling the rest of the team and making them down and out, and there's separation and there's negativity, that's when I have a problem. And that's where I look at it as, I see it happening soon, but I hope he proves me wrong. I hope so. What's up, Buccaneers fan? I want to see Tyler Johnson more as well. I definitely agree with that. I feel like he should be working up. I definitely think he should be working up to a number 3 role. I feel like he can be a more dynamic receiver. He's a rookie too, so maybe he's still working his way up. But I feel like he can be a better threat than Scotty Miller. But only time will tell. Are Buccaneers playoff bound? They're absolutely playoff bound. But the question is, are they divisional NFC South divisional winners? Because that's where it's going to come down to. Are we going to get that 2 seed where we get that bye week and not the home field advantage, but I mean, I think we're better than Seattle Seahawks. I think we have a much better defense than the Seattle Seahawks. So I feel like we win our division, we can definitely have the advantage of being not only the 1 seed, let alone 2 seed, but we're going to make the playoffs for sure. Especially now that there's 7 seeds this year, we're going to be a wild card at the minimum, but we're looking for that division. We're looking for that number 2 seed, if not number 1 seed. So we got that home field advantage because we're undefeated. So Sunday's win would be great if we can pull the W out, because that just shows that you come to Tampa, it's a tough time. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did. It's, he's been swept. We swept them too. We swept the Falcons his rookie year. You just never know sometimes with these teams. Are we Super Bowl contenders? If we play like we did against the Packers was the best performance I've seen from this team in years. And I think every Bucs fan can agree. When you can play penalty-free, you can force turnovers, you can dominate the offense and make the other team quit, you're the best team out. And now it is definitely difficult to do that consistently. We didn't have a lot of penalties last night, which is a good sign. We're seeing the discipline get there, but we need to dominate more on defense. We need to force more turnovers, pressure the quarterback, getting sacks, and putting points on the board. I definitely believe we need a better left tackle. It's obvious that our left tackle is our Achilles heel on this offense. Tristan Wirfs has done an amazing job. I mean, he's given up 1 sack to my knowledge. He's going to be the bright spot in our offense in the future, like Ali Marpet. Jensen, he needs to take a pay cut. He's gotten better with his temper out there, looking like a fat Chucky doll. But 76, he needs to bounce. And who knows what we do in this upcoming draft, but that's another topic, man. That's not another topic, but that's another discussion. But to answer your question, I do believe we're Super Bowl contenders if we can perform much better, because we're not that great on offense statistically. We're in the middle of the pack, and we need to be top 10 offensively, running the ball, throwing the ball, to be considered to be taken serious, because we're this good because of our defense. But with this defense in 2002, that's when we got our Super Bowl. So we'll see. I do believe we're contenders. I'm glad we got AB so he couldn't help Green Bay or Seattle. And in the long run, that's definitely how I saw it as well. I definitely saw that we got him because Seattle wanted him. And honestly, I don't think Seattle really needed him. Seattle needs to work on their defense. But with what's happened with our offense, with Godwin getting hurt twice already, Evans playing hurt, and we're seeing what our backup receivers have been producing, bringing in a vet like AB is going to help us out. And it's better that he went to us and not our competition, especially in our conference. So I'm talent-wise, I've gotten accustomed to that. Personality-wise, I'm not looking forward to it. So we'll see how long it lasts. We need at least one home playoff game, and Brady knows this. He's not selling for a wild card, and our team will follow his lead. I definitely agree with you on that. But this division is not what he's used to in the AFC East. Look at his record in the AFC East versus what we got here. I mean, the competition has lessened. The competition has decreased. I'm sorry, I should use better terminology. The competition has decreased at quarterback play, but this is the Saints division for us to take. Before, we had to worry about a dominant Matt Ryan, a dominant Cam Newton. Imagine if we had him then. This would be the most competitive division in all of football. So he knows how pivotal this game is. He knows how pivotal the other divisional games are. So I'm with you on this. He needs to get this win. We need to dominate the rest of our games. If we go 14-2, 14-2, that's beyond my prediction. I predicted us to go 11-5. So I'll be happy if we can get the home field, my man. Let me see. Even though Russ might break Peyton Manning's TD record, given the story behind Brady coming to the Bucs, he can win MVP over him. You know what, man? MVP has gotten one of the worst reps when it comes to the Super Bowl. If you really look at it, MVP is an individual award, and a lot of MVPs don't perform well. And if you look at the Seattle's defense, they have no pass rush. The secondary is sus as hell. They just have a very high-powered offense with Russ and when he's making magic happen with DK Metcalf. So the MVP, I don't care if Russ gets it. I'm worried about Tom Brady leading us to the Super Bowl, my man. We're just trying to get the Lombardi back in Tampa. Word, and Brad Johnson was no Brady. Exactly. We're talking about Brad Johnson, y'all. Brad Johnson. What do you think about Kwon going to the Saints? I don't care, man. Kwon was good, but he didn't finish a whole season. Can you name me a time when Kwon has played an entire football season with us or with the Niners? I'll save you time. He's just depth. He's not going to be a starter. He's just depth. He's good at stopping the run. That's it. So they got a guy who's very injury prone. Hopefully if they're taking his contract, that's on them. I get it. It's for depth, but I'm not worried about it. Hey, man, William Golston has been holding it down. William Golston has been with us his whole career. He's been a great run stopper. He has improved, and I'm going to get into the sack and pressure. I'm glad we kept him. So I agree with you on this. And anybody that agrees with Golston and is happy about Golston, I'm glad y'all are acknowledging this. He is a great asset on our defense. He may not be getting the numbers and getting all those sacks and everything, but he's putting pressures. When we drafted him, he was known for stopping the run. That was his bread and butter coming out of Michigan State. The sacks were the thing he had to improve on. So we kept him for a reason. He's good on the defensive line, even after adjusting to 3-4 when we were a 4-3 for who knows how long. I've only known Tampa playing a 4-3 my entire life. I'm 32. So he's shown that he can adapt and still perform. So Golston gets my respect. Lattimore is getting torched this Sunday, calling it now. Well, you know it's going to be Lattimore and Evans, and you know there's going to be a fight. You know that it's going to get physical, and you just know it. You just know it, man. It's like a boxing match with them too, man. And I love watching the matchup. I just don't like how Mike lets him get in his head. So hopefully Mike can just take him off. And, hey, if he beats him on a route, I see him doing it. Mike's a big guy. So I see Lattimore getting roughed up again. Let's see what we got here. Come on, y'all. Nobody wants to get in the chat. Nobody wants to chop it up with me. I can read comments all day. But if y'all want to sit down and get up in here and let your voice be heard, you don't have to share your camera. You just want to talk about it, get up on here and have a conversation, ask a question. We can do it, man. JPP is going to get off next game. He's been heating up lately. Good Good rundown speed last night too on Sterling. Yeah, he definitely showed some hustle, man. That was a personal game for him, though. That was his old team, and he said himself he felt like they could let him go too soon, so he wanted to win that game, and he didn't want to lose to somebody like Daniel Jones. Matter of fact, did you I don't know if anybody caught this mic'd up moment last night, but when Levante David dropped that interception, JPP yelled at him, "You better count your blessings, bitch." So I like him. I like him. He's been an animal. I wish we'd gotten him much sooner in his career. So JPP is a dog. He is a dog, and I'm with it. Is it just me, or do you guys get annoyed every time Taysom Hill comes into the game? Yeah, I definitely get annoyed because 9 times out of 10, he's going to be in a gadget play. He's either running the ball or going to get thrown the ball or throwing the ball. It's going to be a gadget play that involves around him. I think, and that just tells you how much Drew Brees can't play a full game. So I do believe that we need to make a key adjustment on defense. That if Taysom Hill gets in the game, we need a spy on him. Because if he's going to run right, we got somebody running with him. If he's going to come down the middle, we got somebody to come down with him. And if he's going to throw the ball, at least somebody's on him. But we cannot bring too much pressure to Taysom Hill because someone's going to be wide open. We just need one person on Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is not going to burn. It's not going to burn a linebacker. He may try to fight him off, but he's not going to burn him. We just need one person on him, though. I definitely believe we keep Levante or Devin White on him when he's in the game, especially if he's at quarterback. Let the defense do the rest of the job. We don't need to blitz Taysom Hill because that leaves too much opportunity for him. But he's not going to beat anybody downhill like Devin White or Levante David if he's trying to run up the middle. Have you all seen his injury career at BYU or wherever he went to college? Like the dude can't play a full game himself. He's just good for gadget plays. So I am annoyed because, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to wish injury on anybody, but we need to key in on him when he's in the game because we know he's going to be involved with the play somehow. He's not a distraction. He is the focus. Tom Brady, the GOAT. I agree with you, Ashley. That's why he's the GOAT. We're going to find out Sunday and the rest of this season. We're going to see him pull it off. Is Xavier going to help us beat the Saints on Sunday night? He's gonna play a role. He's gonna play a role. He's gonna play a key role come Sunday night because he's gonna give us that experience at receiver that we haven't had yet. We had Godwin. I would really love to see him, Godwin, and Mike Evans. I mean, come on. Mike Evans, Godwin, AB, Gronk. Who are you covering? So I hope Godwin can come back in time with AB if AB's still on the team and are not suspended. But come Sunday, to answer your question, I do believe he'll have an impact on us beating them. I definitely do because he's going to bring another dynamic to this offense that we didn't have, unfortunately, Sunday night. What's the difference between this game with the Saints and the Packers? Their identity is the same on offense, in my opinion. In my opinion, my dude, I definitely think Drew Brees utilizes his weapons much more than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' favorite target is Devontae Adams. If you really look at it, his best guy is Devontae Adams. They have a rotational back system with Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, now A.J. Dillon. I believe Drew Brees utilizes his receivers more, and Sean Payton gets creative with his offense much more. So it's not just down to the team, it's down to the coaching as well. I believe that he definitely – I do believe Kamara is a better back than Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams as an all-around approach. But you have guys like Michael Thomas, Jared Cook. They got Manuel Sanders now, who was out as well. They have a bunch of depth at receiver. And when you got a guy that hits on point like Drew Brees doesn't get rattled. I believe when we played Aaron Rodgers, he quit after a certain point because he just got so frustrated. So Drew Brees won't quit, but Drew Brees doesn't have the big arms. So if we force him to throw those erratic passes, we're going to get turnovers. We are going to. That's for sure. We just got to make sure we keep Kamara out the flat because that's his security blanket, and then Jared Cook. And if Michael Thomas is playing how he has before with the slant, because Michael Thomas ain't no better than the slant route, we can get him. So I think if we just focus on the coverage and take away those options and get to Breeze, we're going to dominate this game defensively. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'm having to speak lower because my son is going to sleep upstairs, so I can't talk as loud. I can't get as eccentric as I usually do in my videos. So, I'm trying to just make sure y'all hear me, can talk to me. We're an hour in this locker room chat, y'all. I mean, if y'all don't have any more questions, y'all don't want to jump in and chop it up, I can cut this locker room talk short, y'all. I know it's in the middle of the week. We all got jobs. We all got working lives. I'm gonna make this a thing. I do like interacting with y'all. I do like interacting with the Bucks fans, the Sea Bandits, Bucks gang. I'm a day one. So I'm happy to be back in this and getting involved and getting to talk to y'all. Y'all have been a part of getting us to 3,000 subscribers. Y'all seeing this channel grow. Isaiah really held it down in my absence. So, it's my turn to jump in and give him a break. It's my turn to jump in and get back to what I was doing before. We're going to get back to doing some skits, get back to doing some interactions with you all. There's times where we get more than one person up in here, so it'll be a good conversation, whether it's a debate. So, man, definitely keep liking, sharing, subscribing, donating, making this channel grow. I just want to say that as we get to that hour into this, I want to just give y'all a shout out and appreciation on this. So much love. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I know y'all are not used to me. Y'all are not used to seeing me up in here. Some of y'all don't even know me. But for y'all that have come in and stuck it out and wanted to ask questions and chime in, I really appreciate it. I really do. Much love. So let's get into it. So should I start the fantasy? Man, start Washington, man. Washington has a better pass rush against Daniel Jones. I wouldn't start any defense against the Saints right now. Just to answer your question, my man. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Most we got to worry about Jared Cook and Kamara. I 100% agree with you. Those are his main guys. Those are his two security blankets. Caleb, your final question. What record do you think we're going to be at the end of the season? So I originally thought we were going to go 11-5. 11-5. But the way we're playing, the way we're beating some of these bigger teams in moments, I see us going, depending the Chiefs, the Saints, 12-4. I see us going 12-4. If we can win Sunday, then 13-3. But I'm gonna say 12-4. I'm gonna increase my prediction to one win to 12-4. I believe we'll go 12-4. Make the wild card, which is crazy at 12-4. But we're in a competitive division, so that's my final prediction. I also want to give a game ball to our TB12 COVID protocol. We keep it going. Not one breakout yet. Knock on wood, King Cook. Knock on wood, my man. Knock on wood. And let me also say this. Pending the injuries that have happened against the Niners in MetLife Stadium, I was scared about the injuries. I was hoping nobody got hurt that game. Nobody crucial got hurt because that was my biggest fear. We're halfway through the season and we start losing key players, and hopefully we don't lose anybody else. Still, we lost some key players in the beginning of the season, so hopefully we can keep everybody healthy moving forward. Not scared of the Rams. I'm not either, especially after seeing them against Miami. But you know what? Could have been a bad game for them like it was for us. Justin Evans? Is that the safety? What about him? Is he even on the team still? I don't think he is, if that's what you're talking about. Ken Cook, appreciate it, bro. Bucks Nation, Bucks fam. Thank you for chiming in, man. Thank you for giving me a listen. I love our secondary, but Jamel Dean has to stop jumping every route. He's getting burned on double moves. Teams like the Chiefs will make us pay for that. I absolutely agree with us, my man. I absolutely agree with you because Daniel Jones overthrew his receivers. If this was Mahomes, this was Breeze, those are our touchdowns. We would have been shredded. Just saying. So I agree with you on that, man. So hopefully we get that pairing right. He gets coached up on that. It should be a better team on Sunday. Rivalry games, you never know. Rivalry games, you just never know. And I mean that in a good way and I mean that in a bad way. So we can go come up Sunday. It's not gonna be a blowout. I'll tell you that right now. It's not gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a fucking classic. Excuse my language. It's gonna be a classic. This honestly, yo, Allen, when it comes to the Chiefs, man, I'm not worried about that game. When it comes to I'm not worried about that game because I feel like that's just a preview to the Super Bowl. I'm more focused on the NFC games because that's our conference. If we do beat the Chiefs, I mean, hands up, hands up for the dub. But I think that's just going to be a test. You know, the Packers was a test we passed. This Saints game is going to be one to check, and one to definitely see how far we've come since the first game. And the other divisional opponents. The thing about these teams that have losing records, they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose unless they're really trying to get a top 5 pick. They're just trying to win. They're not going to just lay over and let us run on them. So I don't want to sleep on anybody because of their record. But when it comes to the Chiefs, that's just going to be the test to see how really good we are. And who knows? We cannot be the best team right now, but if we get in the playoffs, we can turn it up a switch and be a team that nobody saw us coming. Hopefully, Byron Leftwich calls plays that none of us have seen before to light up the scoreboard. Hopefully, the defense continues to do what they do by stopping the run and containing the pass. So, Chiefs, it's not the most important game for me, but that is the game that I'm just going to observe as a viewer and as a fan to see how we look as a team against the defending Super Bowl champs that seem to have gotten a lot better on defense. Why would we be a wild card, Travis? Honestly, Ray, I see us being a wild card because just simply record. Yes, 12-4 is a big number, but if the Saints have a better record than us, that's going to make us the wild card. We can't be a top 14 if somebody in our division has a better record than us. The race is between us and the Saints as everybody expected. So we lose to the Saints, we're going to be behind them, even if we have the same record. So the best spot is the wild card. But if we beat them, I really believe it's going to come down between us and the Saints. This game is going to decide the playoff layout. I really believe that because this is our division rivalry. You know, they were, before we won last night, they were number 2 and we were in the 5th seed. You know, if the playoffs were to start today, even though we had the same record because they owed the tiebreaker. So we need to win this game to have a step above them. That is why we will be a wild card if we lose on Sunday. It's just the way it's laid out, unless some miracle happens where they just flop the last few games. So we just got to go for this dub, my man. That's the only reason I see us being a wild card, but that's why I say it's our worst case scenario, because I don't see us being a wild card, but at the end of the day, that's the worst case scenario. Saints are lucky that they are playing the Niners without Jimmy and Kittle. But you know what, man? It's football. It's football, man. It's injuries. It's the way of the game. Next man up. So I agree. They're not playing against their full team, so it should be an easy win, but you never know. There could be a team that has nothing to lose, but they are fortunate. And the $80 million in IR. Yes. The Saints will not win our division with screens and checkdowns. If they do, we don't deserve a playoff spot. Just keeping it real. And man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I concur with you. Simply because they're not the same team. They're just the most complete team because they have history together. I just hope that Bruce Arians makes the smart decisions in this game coming up. I just hope that Todd Bowles isn't as predictable with the blitzes. We just need to play smarter football. And Primetime, that's just not been our best friend. Primetime has not been the best layout for us, has not been the best representation of us with what has been expected, what our record shows, what our stats shows. Primetime makes us, when we play on Primetime, we do not look like the team our record displays. We don't look like the team our stats displays, well, defensively at least. So hopefully Sunday, we're a team that come out like madmen and just tear them down on primetime television, shut up the Saints fans, and take this division by storm, then conference to the Super Bowl. It'll be some shit. It'll be unfortunate if we lose, and that's what's ahead of us with what they're doing. Once the Saints lose on Sunday, the morale will fall, and they will lose. It will fall. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And they won't be looked at the same. They'll be playing catch up with us. But the Niners been winning without Kittle and Jimmy G. Yeah, that may be so, but they're not the same team, man. We all know that. We know that. We know they're not the same team. We didn't lose with the debut of these clean red jerseys. Yeah, thank God. Thank God we brought the classics out, and we still got the dub. All right, y'all. We're 10 minutes after the hour, going on 11 minutes. Looks like I want to wrap it up. You know, I do appreciate y'all coming in, chiming in, talking with me a little bit. You know, you're going to see me a lot more. I will be doing this often, whether it's with Isaiah, whether it's Isaiah doing it himself. I'm going to do a personal video another time about me so y'all can get to know me a little bit, because I know a lot of y'all don't know me. A lot of y'all just know Isaiah and think I'm an employee or some shit like that. But that's not the case. We're both partners in this thing, all right? So thank y'all for joining the chat. King, second half of season is a whole new season. The first day was to show the boys we can dominate and win games. Second half, it's time to make our run. Trust the process. We see the process every Sunday. I do agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. We got the first half done, so now it's time for the home stretch. I agree with you, my man. So y'all, thank y'all again for chiming in. This is Travis from Buckles Locker. Like, share, subscribe. Tune into the Twitter, get on the Facebook. Shout out to Isaiah. I got to give the man credit for going live while multitasking with his daughter. Being a parent myself, I am all the way with him. I mean, y'all are jumping in the chat now. Before I tune it out, Bucks defense looks soft last game. The number one run. Let me highlight this. Yes, absolutely. The way they ran their offense, getting 5-6 yard gains with backup offensive linemen, backup running backs, is suspect. We are definitely missing Vita Vea, and it shows. It shows. So Sunday we need to get it together. And we will. Rojo needs to get back to what he does best and stop worrying about Fournette. I don't think he's worried about Fournette. I think he's worried about catching the ball, because that's what everybody gets on him about, not only as a player, but as media around him. I believe people are just getting on him about him not catching. So he's worried about the catch, and then, which is important, worry about the catch, then moving upfield. But he's not securing the ball. He's not securing it. I definitely think that he will get better. Hopefully, he will get better. And Fournette, he's trying to prove that he can play in this league. So if we can keep him, cool. But I think they could be a great tandem, if you ask me. It's just this offense is so vanilla with this play calling. So vanilla. I believe with these two as a tandem, we can do so much more with their running game and passing game, more towards Fournette, not necessarily Rojo at this point. Appreciate it, King. Appreciate it, Arshia. Hey, man, you're going to see me in more of these. You're going to see me more of these, y'all. Shout out to all my Bucks fans that are in the city of Orlando, Orange County represent, everybody down in Tampa. If you live out of the state and you're tuning in, much love, much appreciation. If you didn't get in on the video to chop it up with me, there'll be another opportunity. Isaiah does this often. He's going to jump in himself. We'll coordinate together. Let's go Bucks. Do what the cup says. Seize the day. Fire the cannons. The Bucks are 6-2. Let's wrap up the halfway mark and get ready for the division rivalry come Sunday night. It's a big game, y'all. Honestly, this is the biggest game, in my opinion. This is the biggest game because this wraps up that battle between us, because I don't want to be behind these suckers chasing that seed. I don't want to be behind them chasing that number one spot for the division. I want that top seed. I want that home field advantage. I want to be able to tell these other teams, you got to come through Tampa to get to the Super Bowl, as you already know we're hosting the Super Bowl. So it's just defending home turf. That's all it is. So everybody chime in. Y'all can still chop it up in the comments afterwards. Again, this is Travis signing out, and go Bucks. Good night. Stay safe.